Hello everyone, here's a quick talk through and explanation of my thought process behind a recent live fire practice session. This is a pretty typical setup for me for my live fire practices. I try to be as efficient as possible with my setup and takedown so that I can get as much practice in as I can in the amount of time I have. I'll set up a relatively random array of targets and 3 to 5 shooting positions. I prefer to use some sort of vision barrier for the positions as opposed to just having cones or target sticks placed on the ground. For this session, I wanted to focus on transitions and movement. First, though, I warmed up with doubles and then some bill drills to ensure that my grip was solid. Then I did some reps on transitions from a static position. I did this strong hand only and weak hand only, as well as freestyle. I think it is very important to our development as shooters to put in a significant amount of work on single-handed shooting, both strong and weak. I think that we should devote about 30% of our total training time to single-handed shooting, divided evenly between strong and weak hand. Another thing I did in this particular practice session was I placed a high emphasis on accuracy and alpha count in all of my drills. Sometimes I will really push the speed in my practice sessions, and other times I try to be at more of a on-demand pace and hold myself accountable for accuracy. I think the ability to have this sort of mental transmission for your shooting pace is crucial to your development. After the static reps, I added in movement, starting out with shooting on the move, both diagonally forward to the strong side and to the support side. Because of the emphasis on accuracy and the target difficulty, the shooting on the move reps were fairly deliberate, but I wanted them to be more difficult than shots I would take shooting on the move in a match or in a gunfight. After working on shooting on the move, next came position entries and exits. I divided these up into two types: easy entries and exits, and hard entries and exits. The easy and hard terms don't refer to the difficulty of the movement, but rather the relative difficulty of the shot during the entry or the exit. An easy entry or exit allows you to move while shooting, while a hard entry or exit requires a static, stable shooting position. So far, all of the work in this particular training session was either an experimentation drill in the case of doubles, or isolation drills, which included the bill drills, the static transition work, and the movement pieces. I closed out the training session with some combination work to develop my on-demand performance and my match pace. For this, I picked 3 positions and strings of fire from each, and did each pattern 3 to 5 times, working on a nice, consistent performance near my best in isolation. The idea behind this type of training is to, over time, narrow the gap in performance between what you can do on an isolated technique and what you can do when stringing techniques together in sequence. The other goal of combination work is to lower your rate of error over time, to make fewer mistakes and smaller ones, and recover from those mistakes quicker. Another thing I will commonly do in training sessions like this is what is called interleaving training, where I mix together the 3 categories of drills: experimentation, isolation, and combination, rather than doing them in blocks. This has been shown to be a more effective way to train. I hope you've enjoyed this explanation of my training session and the thought processes behind it. If you'd like more of this sort of content, let me know.